Good morning, students. So let's begin the second part of my lecture on Ambedkar's political thought. So, in the past part, I dealt with, Ambedkar's understanding on caste and untouchability in Hindu society. I dealt with annihilation of the caste. Some mistakes, uh, you know, has been committed, and I want all my students to go through the comment section where you all can get a clarification. Uh, and today we will discuss his political, thoughts relating to, his differences to Gandhi on caste and untouchability issue, that is popularly known as uh, the Gandhi Ambedkar debate and Pune Pact. And what is his understanding over the rights of people, then constitutional democracy, his position on constitutional democracy, and his concept of social justice. Okay, so Gandhi Ambedkar debate is regarding the probable solution to the problem of untouchability and other vices of the caste system. So both Gandhi and Ambedkar, they were against the problem of untouchability. So at the outset, both the leaders understood that the problem of untouchability lies in the domain of social reform. Both these, thinkers, they were, thinking of reforming the society. They were thinking of disabling the problem of untouchability, while Gandhi sees it as a social issue. Ambedkar sees it as an issue that denies political rights to the depressed class. So this issue of untouchability for Gandhi was social in nature, and the issue of untouchability for Ambedkar was political in nature. It is because it is due to untouchability, the depressed class, the untouchable class, they were denied the political rights. Ambedkar relates the idea of untouchability to the whole system of caste, which may be called as a Hindu way of life. So for Ambedkar, as long as the Hindu way of life is there, caste will be there, and as long as caste is there, untouchability, the problem of untouchability will be there. But when the issue comes to the Hindu way of life and caste, then caste and Hindu way of life, it was very much close to the heart of Gandhi. Now the difference, emerges. Right. Now this difference brought both the leaders in direct clash with each other, and the plus point of this came in the form of Pune Pact. Right. So people came to know the harsh difference between Gandhi and Ambedkar in the Pune Pact, where Gandhi was in favor of abolishment of untouchability without compromising the basic tenets of the Hindu religion and flawless theoretical construct of the caste system. Gandhi was praising it for saving Hinduism from disintegration. Now, Gandhi's understanding of caste was positive. The only negative point in the caste was the untouchability, and caste system is not required to be discarded, right? The negative aspect of the caste system, the untouchability, is required to be discarded. But caste for Gandhi must be there because caste has saved the Hinduism from the disintegration. And how the untouchability will be abolished. Now, Gandhi's approach to the problem of untouchability was based on self enlightenment of the people. But Ambedkar's approach to the problem of untouchability was to annihilate the caste. As long as caste is there, for Ambedkar, untouchability is there. So, in a sense, for Gandhi, abolishing untouchability from the caste, from the caste system was possible. And for Ambedkar, abolishing untouchability by not dismantling caste was not possible. For Ambedkar, if you want to abolish the untouchability, then you have to abolish the caste. Now, when communal award, Ramsay MacDonald Award, communal award came in 1932, recognizing the rights of untouchable for a separate electorate. Gandhi began his epic fast unto death, which developed a wave of sympathy across the country. Right? In 1932, with the emergence of communal award, untouchable get or got the right for a separate electorate. Gandhi started his epic fast unto the death. And when Gandhi started epic fast unto death, sympathies across the countries, it started flowing towards Gandhi. Though Ambedkar could hold on for few days, Ambedkar did not compromise, Ambedkar did not go to Gandhi. Yet, on the face of growing public pressure, people started pressurizing Ambedkar. And as a result, Ambedkar compromised with Gandhi. And the separate electorate for untouchable, Ambedkar postponed it. Ambedkar met Gandhi on his willingness to offer more reserved seats to the untouchable in return of their renunciation of separate electorate system. Gandhi offered Ambedkar that untouchables there should be some reserved seats for the untouchable. No, this is a offering from the Gandhi to Ambedkar, and Ambedkar agreed to that. So Ambedkar compromised the separate electoral system for untouchable, and Ambedkar accepted the offer of Gandhi, and the offer of Gandhi was reserving certain seats for the untouchable. So consequently, signing of Pune Pact happened. Gandhi broke his fast on 26 September 1932. A few days after Pune Pact, the growing intervention of Gandhi in the activities for the emancipation of untouchable apparently led to the weakening of the position of Ambedkar in bringing about comprehensive politicization of untouchable. However, Ambedkar convinced, at least temporarily, of the honesty of Gandhian activities when orthodox upper caste Hindu opposed it. But he got frustrated as well as with these activities and program. Now, after this Pune Pact, Gandhi did a lot of intervention towards emancipating the untouchable. And with the emergence of Gandhi fighting against the untouchability, empowering emancipating the untouchable, right? With the entry of Gandhi, the position of Ambedkar got weakened, right? Now, Ambedkar was trying to bring a comprehensive politicization of untouchable. Now, Ambedkar wanted untouchable to be politically much active, but this wish of Ambedkar got compromised slightly due to the intervention of Gandhi towards emancipating the untouchables and towards his action against the untouchability. Temporarily, temporarily, Ambedkar got convinced the honesty of Gandhian activities. Ambedkar was not happy with Gandhi, but temporarily, Ambedkar was not unhappy with Gandhian activities towards emancipating the untouchable. And the reason why Ambedkar was not unhappy, because there was tremendous pressure, opposition from the higher caste Hindus to this emancipation of untouchable, right? So the pressure was the reason why Ambedkar was not unhappy on Gandhi. But at the same time, Ambedkar was also not happy because Ambedkar got frustrated due to the program of Gandhi, because Ambedkar wanted untouchables to be politically more assertive, right? So this is all about your Gandhi and Ambedkar debate over the issues of untouchability and caste system. Then coming to the fourth line, that is rights of the people. To Ambedkar, there are two types of people living on this earth. Some are with human rights and some are without human rights. The untouchable and tribe constitute people without human right. Untouchables are socially, economically, politically segregated, and tribes are geographically isolated. Certain basic rights were prohibited to them in the name of untouchability. And what are those rights that has been prohibited to them? These rights are right to dignity, right to movement, right to liberty, right to life, right to equality, right to education, then right to religion. Now, without these rights to Ambedkar, they were worse than an animal. They means untouchables and tribe. You know, these untouchables were once upon a tribe, right? They are called the broken man. These untouchables. So without these rights, these untouchable and tribes, they are their condition is worse than an animal. And describing the miserable condition of them, Ambedkar once said, depressed by government. So these untouchables and tribes are depressed by government, suppressed by Hindu, degraded by Muslim. We are left in the most intolerable position of utter helplessness, to which I am sure there is no parallel. This is a very nice quotation. Depressed by government, suppressed by Hindu, degraded by Muslim. These untouchables and tribals are left in a most intolerable position of utter helplessness. Now Ambedkar is saying, Mahatma has come, Mahatma has gone, but untouchable. Mahatma means the bigger social reformer, but untouchable remains untouchable. Before Ambedkar, reformers like Raja Rammohn Roy, Dayanand Saraswati, Phule, Aurobindo initiated measures to eradicate untouchability, but they all have failed. Ambedkar did a successful movement against untouchability, and therefore he was called as the savior of depressed class. Ambedkar's movement brought a number of benefits and safeguards to the untouchables by the government. As the chairman of the drafting committee, Ambedkar enshrined various provisions in the constitution for the benefits of untouchable. What are those provisions? First, to secure to the people of India justice, social, economic, and political liberty, equality, fraternity, and human dignity. That is there in the preamble. Then Article 17 talks about the abolishment of untouchability. Article 14 talks about equality and assured human dignity. Article 19 talks about freedom, free movement, and access to any part of India. Article 21 talks about right to life. Article 25 talks about right to religion. Article 29 talks about right to education. Article 330 talks about reservation of seats in the Lok Sabha. Article 332 talks about reservation of seats in the Legislative Assembly. Article 335 talks about reservation in appointment. Article 338 talks about special office for the SCs and STs. Now all these provisions gives, if one will interpret in the context of social justice, one will find all these provisions are the benefits and safeguards to the untouchable by the constitution. So in spite of these constitutional provisions, violence are taking place, atrocities are still committed on untouchables every day in various parts of the country. The primary reason of this is because of their claims to their right. So the reason why atrocities are happening, it is because these untouchables are claiming their rights. So law is the remedy of it. Education of human rights should be taken up as mass movement. So when the untouchables are asserting their rights, are demanding their right, claiming their rights, atrocities are happening, and this is the primary reason of atrocity. And to deal with those atrocity, two things are required. One, the law. Law is the remedy of it. And second, the mass education. The human, education of human right must be given to the mass. Now it is due to this securing of civil and political rights to the untouchables, Ambedkar is called the champion of human right. So let me take 2 minutes break, then I'm coming back. Welcome back. Now to Ambedkar, now I'm coming to the fifth line, constitutional democracy, and what is Ambedkar's understanding of constitutional democracy. Now, to Ambedkar, democracy means the fundamental changes in the social economic life of the people without resorting to disputes and bloodshed. Clear. Now, for him, democracy means establishing one man, one vote, one value, not only in the political life of India but also in the socio-economic life. Democracy means one man, one vote, one man, one value, not only in the political life of India but also in its socio-economic life. Ambedkar wanted political democracy to be accompanied by the social democracy. In fact, for him, social democracy is first, then the political democracy. For him, democracy needs attention to the social linkage among the people. Democracy, I'm repeating, democracy needs attention to the social linkage among people than constitutional safeguards for the democracy. So, if democracy is not producing the social linkage, then the constitutional protection of democracy will not work. Ambedkar was very much clear about it. Now, power in political sphere for Ambedkar has a direct connection with the social power. Hence, political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the lease of its social democracy. So, what Ambedkar is understanding or thinking or saying that political power in political sphere is deeply connected with the power in the social sphere. So, if the social sphere is undemocratic, then at the political sphere you cannot establish a democracy. So, political democracy to be successful requires social democracy first. Now, Ambedkar viewed religious foundation of caste as the fundamental obstacle to democracy, right? So, Ambedkar viewed the society is based on the religious foundation of caste. The society, the Indian society is a casteist society, and the society is based on the religious foundation, based on the rules. You know, if you remember, I said it is based on what? It is based on the rules of religion, not the principles of religion. Right. And this is the fundamental obstacle to democracy. Hence, he wanted Buddhist doctrine as the foundation of democracy. So, to Ambedkar, the rules of Hinduism is the main obstacle of democracy, and Ambedkar was not against the principles of Hinduism. Ambedkar was against the rules of Hinduism. Now, as Ambedkar thinks of democracy from the practical point of view, for him, democracy meant no slavery, no caste, no coercion. He wants free thought, that choice and capacity to live and let live, which his conscience would be the right path to democracy. Again, I'm repeating, he wants free thought, that choice and capacity to live and let live, which his conscience would be the right path to democracy, would be the right path to democracy. I am not reading properly, so that's why the meaning is not coming clearly. This is very important. So let me take 1 minute to read it properly. Okay, so what it means, democracy for Ambedkar is free thought. Democracy for Ambedkar means capacity to live and let live to others on the basis of their conscience. And this is the right path to democracy. The roots of democracy are to be searched in social relationship, in terms of associated life between people who form the society. So, the essential prerequisite of democracy is the associational life. In Indian society, the positive danger to democracy are poverty and caste distinction, class structure. On one hand, this class structure produces tyranny, vanity, pride, arrogance, greed, selfishness. On the other hand, it produces insecurity, poverty, degradation, loss of liberty, self reliance, interdependence, dignity, and self respect. Right? So, this class structure, this poverty, caste distinction, on one hand, it produces tyranny, arrogance, pride, greed, selfishness. On the other hand, it produces the insecurity, poverty, degradation, loss of liberty, loss of self reliance, loss of independence, loss of dignity, loss of self respect. So the aim of democracy is essentially need for the interest of society as well, interest of society as a whole, not for any class or group or community. So democracy must be perceived, the goal, the aim of democracy should be related with the whole, not to any particular class, group, or community. To him, the first condition of democracy is that there must be no glaring inequality in this society. If inequalities are there, then democracy cannot be successful. There must not be an oppressed class. There must not be a privileged class. Real democracy is opposed to the suppression of minorities. Suppression is anti democratic. If suppression is not stopped, then democracy generates the tyranny. Individuals in society is an end in democracy and has certain inalienable rights in the social relationship which must be protected by the state. So the state has to protect certain inalienable rights that is related with the individual social relationship. The state has to protect it. The democratic principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are considered to be the essential of human life in Ambedkar's concept of democracy. So, in the Ambedkar's concept of democracy, principles of life, liberty, and happiness, life, liberty, fraternity, equality, these are certain essential character of Ambedkar's understanding of democracy. So again, let me take 1 minute break, coming back. Welcome back. Now, let's understand Ambedkar's understanding of social justice. Now, to Ambedkar, injustice is everywhere, from Western countries to the non-Western countries. In India, that injustice is caste, and since caste is social, social justice demands withering away of the caste from the Indian society. Look at the logic. In India, injustice is caste. Since caste is social, social justice demands withering away of the caste from the Indian society. As Ambedkar was much more influenced by the French Revolution, Ambedkar's perspective of social justice is based on social democracy, consisting the concept life, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Now, these principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity are not to be treated as separate items. Liberty, equality, and fraternity must be interconnected, must strengthen each other. Right. So, to diverse one value from the other is to defeat the very purpose of social justice and democracy. If the combination of liberty and equality is not producing fraternity, then it is not the success of social justice or social democracy. To Ambedkar, liberty has been divided into two categories: civil liberty and political liberty. Civil liberty means liberty of movement, liberty of speech, liberty of action. And these civil liberties are guaranteed by constitution, but it is ignored in the practice. And the political liberty means rights of individual to share in the framing of law and in the making and unmaking of the government. So this is political right. Now democracy more depends on civil liberty than the political liberty. Right? Just I said before, democracy must be at the social level than the political level. Civil liberty is deeply connected with democracy at the social level. The democracy more depends on the civil liberty than political liberty because these liberties are necessary to create a just social order. Political liberties will work if there is a so just social order, and to establish a just social order, civil liberty is important. Now, civil liberty may lead to equality, and to realize equality, there must be education, and the education must be made available to all. Fraternity means a sense of common brotherhood of all Indians being one people. It is the principle which gives unity and solidarity to social life. So Ambedkar was for a associational life, for a social life. In this sense, Ambedkar was a nationalist. He wants every Indians to be connected through the common brotherhood. All Indians are one people. And that's how Ambedkar was thinking of achieving the unity and solidarity of all Indians in their social life. So, as long as your social life is not, or there is no common brotherhoodness, if there is no unity and solidarity in your social life, then you cannot establish a strong nation state. So, liberty, equality, fraternity should be the only alternative to establish or to abolish, to abolish the caste society. To Ambedkar, liberty cannot be divorced from equality. Equality cannot be divorced from fraternity. With equality, liberty, with equality, liberty would produce and would kill the individual initiatives. Without fraternity, liberty and equality is meaningless. Again, I am repeating to Ambedkar, liberty cannot be divorced from equality. Equality cannot be divorced from fraternity. With equality, liberty would produce and would kill the individual initiatives. Without fraternity, liberty and equality is meaningless. Again, let me take 1 minute to understand it. Okay, what it means, now with equality, liberty would produce that unity and solidarity, that commonness, that associational life. And with equality, liberty would kill the individual initiatives. With equality, liberty will produce the collective initiatives, not the individual initiatives. And without fraternity, liberty and equality is meaningless. Now, if with equality, liberty produces the, you know, with equality, if liberty produces a initiatives, community initiatives, then liberty and equality will produce fraternity. Now, Ambedkar combines individualism and socialism. I mean, Ambedkar is not against liberty because liberty is related with the creativity. So, importance on liberty, ultimately, it will strengthen a doctrine called individualism. Importance on the concept of equality, ultimately, it will contribute a doctrine called socialism. Now, Ambedkar combines both individualism and socialism through the introduction of state socialism by means of law of the constitution. Now, Ambedkar's concept of state socialism is based on following point. Now, in state socialism, there is importance must be given on liberty and equality. Now, what are the base of state socialism to Ambedkar? Now, in state socialism, state ownership of agriculture in key industry to meet the demands of the poor strata of the society. The state will take care of agriculture and industries, and state will meet the demands of the poor strata of the society. The state will maintain the productive resources, a just distribution of resources without any distinction of caste and creed. So the state will do everything. State will generate the wealth and state will distribute the wealth. Now Ambedkar believed that all men have values, capacities which can be measured easily by their okay. So Ambedkar, again I'm repeating, Ambedkar believed that all men have values and capacities. Everyone has the same, everyone has some values everyone has some value contribution to the civic order. That means every individual has a value capacity, and every individual has something to contribute to the social order in which he or she lives. Therefore, everyone must have a equal voice or share in the determination of laws of his own land. Every individual matters in the construction, in the determination of the law. Every individual has a say to the creation of the law of his land, because every individual is unique, every individual has value capacity, and they have some value capacity to contribute to the social order. Hence, Ambedkar demands the protection of law should be accorded to everyone. Law must protect all. Equality before law and equal protection of law. To him, rights are equal and common to all. Rights means it is equal rights. It is not one will get the rights and other will not. To him, rights are equal and common to all. Rights are protected not by laws but by the social and moral conscience of the society. This is now I have been telling it. So, till your rights are not protected by, your rights are not respected by the social and moral forces of the society, then the legal protection of your right will not work. And Ambedkar had also realized it. Rights are protected not by laws. In fact, rights are protected by the social and moral conscience of the society. If fundamental rights are opposed by the communities, no law, no parliament, no judiciary can guarantee them in real sense. So, this is the realization of Ambedkar ultimately. If communities, if the society will oppose your right, then neither law, nor parliament, nor judiciary can guarantee them in real sense. So, what is important? Important is securing the civil liberties of the individual. Important is to realize the interrelation between the values of liberty, equality, and fraternity. How liberty is essential for equality, how equality is essential for liberty, how liberty and equality is essential for the fraternity. Importance is how to create an unity and solidarity of social life, how to protect the communitarian life, right? This is important. And the nationalism is possible only when our life become communitarian rather than individualistic, where the sense of brotherhood will ultimately establish a strong nation state. So, in the end, I will say that Ambedkar was very much critical about the caste, very much critical about Gandhi. Ambedkar, he was in support of people, he was in support of democracy, he was in support of social justice, and at the end, Ambedkar became a true nationalist. So, this is how I ended the political thought of Ambedkar. In the beginning of my class on Ambedkar's political thought, I said that it will be unfair to discuss Ambedkar one or two classes. You know, in one reputed Western university, his autobiography, Waiting for a Visa, is taught for one semester. But in India, we have a different system. We have to deal with many thinkers, philosophers, so we don't have much time to deal with Ambedkar's political ideas in detail. But I hope I have given you a sense through which you can think, and when you will go through some materials, this lecture will help you to understand certain things easily so that you will get a sense of Ambedkar's political philosophy. So this is the end of my lecture on Ambedkar's political thought. In the next class, I will take another philosophy. So thank you very much.